Live from Wrigley Field on a sunshine splash day, we're set for opening day 2012. The Cubs begin their 137th season in the National League. It's their 97th home opener here at Wrigley. The Nationals and the Cubs. Let's send it over to public address announcer Andy Bellison.
Ladies and gentlemen, near the Cubs bullpen, we have 7 firefighters presenting the town of Hinsdale. On September 20th, 2010, Deputy Chief Mark Johnson died in the line of duty. In honor of Deputy Chief Johnson and all firefighters, these 7 firefighters are here today to salute our 2012 Chicago Cubs. And now let's meet your 2012 Chicago Cubs. First, Assistant Athletic Trainer Matt Johnson. Assistant Athletic Trainer Ed Halbert. The Cubs Director of Athletic Training Mark O'Neill. Team Physical Therapist Ryan Mertz. Strength and Conditioning Coordinator Tim Buss. Team Physician Stephen Adams. Team Orthopedist Stephen Grislow. The Home Clubhouse Manager Tom Hellman. And the Assistant Home Clubhouse Manager Gary Stark. And your 2012 Chicago Cubs coaching staff. Third base coach, number 4, Pat Listash. Number 7, hitting coach, Rudy Jaramillo. Bench coach, number 8, Jamie Quirk. Number 25, pitching coach, Chris Bazio. Bullpen coach number 35, Lester Strode. Number 39, first base coach Dave McKay. Staff assistant number 58, Mike Borzello. Staff assistant number 64, Franklin Font. Number 95, bullpen catcher Andy Lane. And now the non-starters for your Chicago Cubs. Number 5, Reed Johnson. Number 6, Brian LaHare. Number 11, Blake DeWitt. Number 16, Joe Mather. Number 21, Luis Valbuena. Number 22, Matt Garza. Number 28, Paul Mahalam. Number 29, Jeff Samardzija. Number 32, Chris Volstad. Number 34, Kerry Wood. Number 40, James Russell. Number 49, Carlos Marmol. Number 51, Steve Clevenger. Number 52, Lendy Castillo. Number 54, Sean Camp. Number 66, Rafael Dolis. And now the opening day starting lineup for your Chicago Cubs. First, the manager. Please welcome number 33, Dale Swain. Leading off for the Cubs in right field at number 9, David DeJesus. Batting second at second base, number 15, Darwin Barney. Batting third, the shortstop, number 13, Starlin Castro. Batting cleanup, left fielder, number 12, Alfonso Soriano. Hitting fifth, the third baseman, number 2, Ian Stewart. Batting sixth, first baseman, number 3, Jeff Baker. Hitting seventh in center field, number 24, Marlon Byrd. Batting eighth and catching, number 18, Giovanni Soto. Pitching and batting ninth, warming up in the left field bullpen, right-hander number 46, Ryan Dempster. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please remain standing as our nation's colors are presented by the Barrington Fire Department Honor Guard from Barrington, Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please remain standing as the Chicago Cubs welcome a very special guest to Wrigley Field. Airborne Ranger Captain Tom Bose is part of the Alpha Company 2 of the 20th U.S. Army Special Forces Command with the Illinois Army National Guard. Captain Bose has been awarded a Bronze Star and a Silver Star for his heroic actions in combat, saving the lives of fellow U.S. Army and coalition soldiers. The Chicago Cubs would like to take this moment to thank Captain Bose, along with all our service men and women, both in this country and around the world, for their selfless dedication, courage, and sacrifice in protecting our freedom and defending this great country. Now, please join students from Chicago's Blaine Elementary School as they honor our country and our flag by leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join Wayne Messmer, accompanied by Gary Pressey at the Lowry organ, as they honor America with God Bless America, followed by our national anthem.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The great Wayne Messmer with God Bless America and our national anthem. Both teams have been introduced. As we bring Bob Brenly into the broadcast, happy opening day partner, and we've got a special guest throwing out the first pitch today.
Yes, indeed. Of course, the first pitch we're most interested in is the one coming from Ryan Dempster. Not too far down the road, but yeah, it should be a lot of fun today. It's always fun opening day at Wrigley Field.
There he is, Bill Murray.
His Cactus League stats, he was 1-3 with an ERA just over 7. Said he was working on a new pitch, so we'll see what he features today.
It should be a pitcher's day with the wind blowing in off the lake. The sun is shining, but not too many balls left the ballpark in batting practice. And a reminder, Chicago Cubs baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. You see the lake is pretty busy, and opening day starters, you expect these guys to be good, but they're going to get a little assist today.
No question about it, Len. You mentioned batting practice earlier today, watching both teams try to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Nearly impossible. As always, here at Wrigley, a line drive that stays low toward left center field might have a chance, but you can see the conditions here at Wrigley Field today.
Should warm up this weekend. What a mild winter. And really spring. There were several days during spring training in which it was actually colder in Arizona than it was here. And for that reason, you see the field. Roger Baird and his grounds crew does a wonderful job, but the field looks to be in June condition, and there's some green stuff growing on the walls on April 5th.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more green this time of year. Usually we're into the end of May, the early part of June before you see as many leaves as we're seeing around town. Good sight.
Let's send it down to Dan Roan, who's on the field itself. Hey, Dan.
Hey, Len and Bob. Good to see you guys as always. Watching Ryan Dempster warm up here, I had a chance to spend a little time with him during spring training, and nobody has said anything about this, and Ryan doesn't want to talk about it, but it is the last year of his contract, and there's a possibility, at any rate, that he may not be with the Cubs next year. I know he wants to have a terrific year for a lot of different reasons, beginning today against these Nationals.
Thanks, Dan. And Bill Murray just introduced. And I guess he's going to run the bases first.
He's not going to have enough left to throw a first pitch.
Save. Well, that's how you do it. Is he going to actually throw it now?
After a few deep breaths, yeah. That's a good way to pull a hamstring. Well, he's throwing the first pitch to Kerry Wood, and obviously he's watched Woody apply his craft out there on the mound, cleans off his cleats before he climbs up on the rubber.
Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Good stuff from Bill Murray. We'll chat with him later as he'll conduct the 7th inning stretch, and we have Cubs opening day baseball next.
Baseball is brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of the Thirst Inning. Great times are on deck. Grab some buds. Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. The Illinois Lottery, Do you believe in the power of possibility? The Illinois Lottery. Anything's possible. And by Ford, manufacturers of more fuel-efficient vehicles than any other brand. Check them out at your local Ford store or online at fordstores.com.
The old ballpark looks beautiful. A lot of fresh paint in the area. We've got a new LED board. The Budweiser patio out in right will show you a lot of the new stuff. But it's still Wrigley Field, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah, some things never change, Len, and you wouldn't want them to. Obviously, Wrigley Field in need of somewhat of a facelift, but boy, from our perch high above the field, it's just absolutely gorgeous looking down at the crowd, the field, the bleachers packed to capacity, and then on into the Wrigleyville neighborhoods. It's a sight that never gets old.
Well, in addition to Rudy Jaramillo, Pat Listash, and Lester Strode, who are back this season, the new members of the coaching staff, including the manager, Dale Swaim, the 52nd manager in Cubs history. His former teammate in Milwaukee, Chris Bosio, is the pitching coach. Dave McKay, after 26 years with Tony La Russa, is at first, and Jamie Quirk will be the bench coach. And Bob, these guys all with experience with other teams in the Central Division.
And they all bring something to the table. Each one very good at their area of expertise. We saw that throughout the early part of spring training. It continued throughout the Cactus League games, and certainly we hope it continues all season long. Guys that really, really know their stuff.
So Dale Swaim and Davey Johnson, the Nationals manager, exchanging the lineup cards. And as always and throughout the season, we are very accessible. Keep in touch. You can email us at lenandbob@tribune.com. We're on Facebook and Twitter as well. Umpires are ready to go. The crew chief is Dana DeMuth. Kerwin Danley, Doug Eddings, and Paul Nart are on the bases as Ryan Dempster gets set to work against this National starting lineup. They should pitch. The question is, can they score enough runs? Ian Desmond will lead it off. Danny Espinosa is at second. Ryan Zimmerman is at third. He's been with the Nationals, you see, for quite a while. Adam LaRoche coming off an injury-plagued season. Jason Worth wants to be a lot better than he was last year. Former Cub Mark DeRosa, interesting story about him we'll get into later. Roger Bernardina's in center. Wilson Ramos the catcher, and Steven Strasburg the pitcher.
And let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively today behind Ryan Dempster. Brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Alfonso Soriano in left, Marlon Byrd in center. One of the new Cubs, David DeJesus, will man right field. Ian Stewart, another new Cub, anchoring third base. It'll be Starlin Castro and Garwin Barney, the double play combo up the middle of the field. Jeff Baker filling in for Brian LaHare at first base. LaHare with some back issues. Giovanni Soto once again behind the plate this afternoon for veteran right-hander Ryan Dempster. Look at his numbers last season. There's a little bit of controversy, if there was any controversy in the Cubs camp, as to who was going to take the ball for this opening day start. Matt Garza easily could have taken the ball for day one, but I think given his seniority with the ball club, his ties to the community and the organization, Ryan Dempster honored to take the ball today for opening day.
It'll be Ian Desmond, the shortstop, to start it. This team has a bunch of former Cubs. We mentioned DeRosa. You've got Xavier Nady, Chad Tracy on their bench, Tom Gorzolani in the bullpen. And here we go. Ryan Dempster with the first pitch of the season, and there's a little floater out into right for a base hit.
Wasn't much of a hit, but they all count. Dempster fires a sinker right down the middle of the plate. Desmond just cues it off the very end of the bat, finds that hole on the right side. And Dempster will be forced into the stretch a lot quicker than he anticipated.
Switch hitting second baseman Danny Espinosa. I don't think it's a big surprise, Bob, that You know, the infielders have their lockers next to one another, Espinosa and Desmond, and right next to them sits Mark DeRosa, and that was by design. Maybe Johnson wanted the veteran to just kind of rub off on these two guys.
Well, you know, Len, there's no substitute for experience. You know, actually going through a season and having the plays come your way. But anytime you can learn something from a veteran like Mark DeRosa, hopefully it'll smooth some of the speed bumps. Attempted bunt that time by Espinosa. Bunted right through it for strike one.
Mentioned Ryan Dempster with his 4th career opening day start. Got the assignment last year with the Cubs. And took the loss to the Pirates 6-3. April did not go well last year. He had a 9.58 earned run average in the first month. He was much better after that. And that's high, 1-1. I think due in part to the fact that he got a little too sinker happy maybe in spring training last year, and some of his other pitches were not where he wanted them to be when the season started. So he really made an effort this spring to focus on all of his pitches. A little bit outside.
Well, another issue we saw from Ryan Dempster last year, really through no fault of his own, but just didn't seem to be able to put hitters away. He could quickly get to 2 strikes, but didn't have that swing and a miss pitch. Tries to hit the back door with that breaking pitch just off of the outside corner. And with that in mind, I would expect Ryan to try to pitch to contact earlier in the count as best as he can this year. Try to get those at bats over with quickly. Let his defense work behind him.
And in mentioning the defense, Cubs arguably had the worst defense in the majors last year, and that was a big emphasis this spring. And there's ball 4. And the Nationals have something cooking here. 2 on with nobody out.
You talk about the defensive problems of the Cubs last year, Len, and certainly some of it was physical. But there were a lot of instances where it was just a lack of focus, a lack of concentration, not understanding the situation. And that was one of the things that Dale and his staff immediately in spring training set out to rectify. Make sure everybody on the field knows the game situation, know what you're expected to do, and know what your teammates are going to do on a given play.
Here's Ryan Zimmerman, the third baseman. And he takes a strike. The Nationals are a little banged up. And without Michael Morse, one of their middle of the order RBI guys. He's on the DL with a lat injury. Rick Ankiel with a quad strain. Their closer, Drew Storen, on the shelf, swing and a miss.
Nothing tricky there. Straight fastball down the middle of the plate at the knees. Blew it right by Zimmerman that time.
There's another former Cub, Davey Johnson. 0-2 to Zimmerman. High in the air. And again, the wind's going to help Ryan Dempster today. As Marlon Byrd right at the edge of the track makes a catch. Both guys are going to advance. I don't have to tell you, when the wind is blowing the other direction, that's a 3-run homer, but you do pitch to the conditions on a day like this.
Yeah, normally in a 2-strike count, you're not going to throw a 4-seam fastball up around the letters when the wind is blowing out or there's no wind here at Wrigley. But on a day like today, I mean, I think that's every pitcher's safety net. If you get into trouble, you're not sure quite what to do, throw it up and out over the plate. Let them see how far they can hit it, because the ball just is not going to carry, especially the straightaway center.
Adam LaRoche last year had his season end in May due to left shoulder surgery, and you see what he did before that. Really struggled in 43 games.
And a very abbreviated spring for LaRoche as well. He only got 22 at bats down in the Grapefruit League this spring. Most everyday players will tell you they like to get 50, 60, maybe 70 at bats in spring training before the regular season starts.
In a very upright position in that batter's box, takes a strike. Bob, there are 3 other games that have been underway for a while. 2 are in the 5th, the others in the 4th. Not a run has been scored. Here, we just started, and the Nationals have him at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. Lots of zeros.
I imagine there's a lot of meteorological shock going on right now. You know, players coming out of the Grapefruit League and the Cactus League where temperatures were in the 70s and 80s pretty much on a regular basis. And then you go back to your opening day, whether it's at home or on the road, and the parkas come out, the stocking caps. A little bit different, which makes it tougher to stay loose for the players. Obviously, down in Arizona, you stretch once in the morning and you're good till midnight.
Sinker is low and outside. And it's 2-2. Jason Worth on deck. Ryan Dempster, in his long career, has lost to this Expos/Nationals franchise only 1 time. He's 9-1. And it's his best winning percentage against any National League club. Swing and a miss. Big punch out for Dempster.
Well, if Dempster does have a swing and a miss pitch, that's it right there. A nasty split finger, great downward movement that time, gets LaRoche not only way out in front, but swings right over the top of that pitch.
Well, Jason Worth, who got a whopping 7-year, $126 million contract prior to last year. And then he struggled. And he takes a slider for a strike.
Yeah, we talked about the cold temperatures for opening day, Len. Ian Stewart got the short sleeves on down there at third base from his time in Colorado. He probably feels like this is a heat wave. And he'll break out the long sleeves before this homestand is over. Pretty good slider that time by Dempster. Dropped it right on that outside corner. Might have just fallen off of the outside corner, but that's a great location when you're ahead in the count. Throw that pitch that gives the illusion of a strike and hope to get the swing and a miss.
One and one to Worth. And he pops it up. And it'll be new Cub David DeJesus in his Wrigley Field debut to make the catch. So Dempster escapes. Here come the Cubs against Steven Strasburg. Lineup brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. DeJesus, Barney, Castro. What a year he had last year. Soriano, Stewart, Baker in for Brian LaHare, who's battling some back stiffness. Bird, Soto, and Dempster will round it out.
Quick look at the Nationals defensively. Former Cub Mark DeRosa in left, Roger Bernardina in center, Jason Worth over in right field. It'll be Zimmerman, Desmond, Espinoza, and LaRoche third to first across the infield. Wilson Ramos doing the catching today for right-hander, the #1 pick in the first round of the '09 draft, Steven Strasburg.
Those were his numbers after he returned in September last year following Tommy John surgery in 2010. In terms of stuff, off the charts.
Yeah.
23 years old, and this is his first pitch ever at Wrigley Field, his first career opening day start. 95. We'll see that a lot today on that fastball. In fact, prior to yesterday, Bob, he had never stepped foot in the city of Chicago. Is 0-1 to David DeJesus. Up in the air, Bernardina surrounding it. We want to let our AT&T UVerse viewers in Chicago and around the country on WGN America know that during every Cubs home game this season, if you go to channel 780 or HD channel 1780, you can see a special multi-view presentation that'll show you all our different live camera angles here at Wrigley Field. It's pretty cool. So if you want to direct the game along with Skip Ellison, give a look to AT&T UVerse channel 780 or HD channel 1780. Darwin Barney got jammed, and that'll go LaRoche to Strasburg. Didn't have time to mention it. David DeJesus, the only guy in the Cub lineup with previous at bats against Steven Strasburg. So most of these guys are seeing him for the first time, and I'm sure the hype was documented well on the videotape.
Oh yeah, even though it's the first time they've actually physically stepped in the box against him, you know that all these Cubs hitters in the lineup today have had extensive video work on over the advance report. And there's really no secrets with Steven Strasburg. Fastball will sit in the mid-90s, occasionally will reach the upper 90s if he needs a little bit extra. Has a snapdragon curveball and a straight changeup, and good command of all 3 pitches.
Starlin Castro takes ball 1 outside.
It's that rare bird, a power pitcher with command.
Castro is working on an 11-game hitting streak. That's what he ended last year with, and a 40-game on base streak. And that ball's going to drop. Strasburg vacated. The cornermen couldn't get there. Man, can he hit.
Talk about finding the holes in the defense. He gets jammed badly. A little floater right out in the middle of the diamond. Steven Strasburg, for whatever reason, decides he doesn't want to be a ball player right now. He's headed for that first base dugout, and neither of the corner infielders can get there quickly enough to make the play. So Starlin Castro is on the board.
Now 12-game hitting streak. Alfonso Soriano, former National. But a really good spring. It's 6 home runs as he starts his 6th year in a Cub uniform. Deep center, Bernardina's back, and the crowd excited, but again, it's that kind of day. So Zimmerman had a 3-run homer taken away. Soriano a 2-run shot. With all the pomp and circumstance of opening day, we listened to Bob Brenly, but we haven't seen him yet. He's alive. There he is.
I've been sitting here since last October just waiting for another ball game.
Mark DeRosa leading off against his former teammate Ryan Dempster. Well, Mark DeRosa didn't have a ton of offers. His old team, the Giants, and the Nationals, that was pretty much it. And Soriano will get to the spot and make the catch. All of a sudden, DeRosa's in the starting lineup on opening day with the Mike Morse injury. Cub fans, make sure you check out our WGN baseball blog. WGNTV.com. It's brought to you by Jeff Vukovich, nationwide agent serving the area for 33 years for your auto, home, and business insurance needs. Contact Jeff at jeffvuk.com. I have a post on the first impressions after watching the Cubs during spring training. We have opening day pictures, the first homestand list of seventh inning stretch guests, and much more at WGNTV.com. Roger Bernardina playing center. Talking about it during the break, Ryan Dempster is a ground ball pitcher, but this is not the kind of day where you want a ton of contact on the ground and on a line. You want it in the air.
Yeah, normally Ryan Dempster's a guy that is constantly looking for that ground ball with the sinker, the splitter, the slider. There's a nice comeback sinker for a strike. Actually, I think that was a splitter with that kind of movement. Yeah, but as we said earlier, when push comes to shove, if there's any doubt in your mind what's the right pitch to throw in a certain situation, a high fastball is never a bad thing on a day like this. Maybe the benefit of the doubt on a high splitter there for a called strike three.
Here's the catcher, Wilson Ramos, who had a pretty harrowing offseason, to say the least. He was kidnapped in his native Venezuela in November. In fact, he was taken from right in front of his family's home in Valencia. A 51-hour ordeal, was finally rescued unharmed. And then he went right back to his Venezuelan Winter League team, continued to work out and play. Said there was no physical harm, but there certainly was some psychological damage done, as you can imagine.
Yeah, you can only imagine.
It was believed to be the first instance of an MLB player being kidnapped. The relatives of players had been kidnapped for ransom, but never a player. Here's a 1-2. It's low. Strasburg is on deck. Starlin Castro. And Ryan Dempster, after allowing the first two runners to reach, has now retired 6 in a row.
season on WGN TV is brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
Nothing as we get into the bottom of the second. Ian Stewart making his Cub debut on his birthday. A couple of Cubs celebrating birthdays today. Stewart turning 27. And Cubs backup catcher Steve Clevenger turning 26. In fact, 2 years ago with the Rockies, Stewart became the first player to hit a homer in his first at bat on opening day on his birthday.
How about that?
Did not go well last year with the Rockies as he taps one. Ramos will get him. Thought he had a good spring though. Wrist bothered him last year, and kind of that classic change of scenery deal. 4-player deal, but the two main guys, Tyler Colvin going to the Rockies and Stewart coming here.
You talked about Stewart's spring training. It didn't start out so well, but if you had your preference as a player, you'd rather have it that way. Start out slow, find your swing, find your groove, and that's what Ian Stewart was able to do down in the Cactus League.
Jeff Baker with his second career opening day start. And he lines one into right, and it's caught as Worth had to leave his feet. Probably the hardest hit ball today.
Jeff Baker pretty much relegated to facing only lefties last year, but getting the start today for Brian LaHare at first base, and it's a screaming sinking line drive to right. Great play by Jason Worth to take away a base hit.
The former National Marlon Byrd. He takes a curved ball for a strike. You remember last year, Jordan Zimmerman of the Nationals was held to 160 innings. Sounds like the Nationals are going to do the same thing with Steven Strasburg this year. They're going to let him pitch every 5 days, and when he reaches 160, they'll shut him down. And Bob, talking to people around the Nationals, it doesn't matter if they're in first place by 5 games, if they're tied for the wild card. It would be a good problem to have, but they are not going to jeopardize his long-term future. He's going to get 160, and then he's done. Swing and a miss. Pretty special talent, Steven Strasburg. 0-0 after 2.
never felt so strong. I'm feeling like there's nothing that I can't try. And if you with me, put your hands high. You haven't lost a life before. And if you with me, put your hands high. The dreams are filled, you're rocking with the best.
Opening day 2012. Steven Strasburg grounds out. Now 1 for 27 in his short major league career. Back to the top, and Ian Desmond.
So windy, it blew the helmet off his head.
Well, you've got the Red Sox and Tigers, the Braves and the Mets, the Phillies and the Pirates. They're all in the 6th inning, scoreless. As you said, the wind might be blowing in everywhere today.
Well, there's that old axiom in baseball that the pitchers are always a little bit ahead of the hitters. They say it about the early part of spring training. You say it about the early part of the regular season. And usually when the weather starts to heat up, that's when the bats start to heat up as well. Pitchers may be taking advantage of the conditions on opening day, like Ryan Dempster has so far here today.
Well, you think about the 2 hits in this game early on. Desmond with the little soft liner off the end of the bat, and Starlin Castro popped up to the mound and nobody caught it. Two slider, and now it's full.
As even as you can get.
I was going to ask you to analyze that. I mean, a lot better before the break. 1/100th of a point.
Boy, and there's something to be said for consistency. I'm sure Ryan Dempster and the teams that he's pitched for in his career would like to see more victories and a lower ERA, but you pretty much know what you're going to get every time out when Ryan Dempster takes them out.
And Stewart drops it. There'll be an error on Ian Stewart.
Well, we're going to talk about the improved defense at third base. We'll wait just a little bit for that. Pretty routine play. Ian Stewart gets to the ball in good shape, just loses the handle as he reaches into that glove and gets ready to make the throw across the diamond.
Espinosa walked his first time, so Desmond on for the second time. Boy, it must be early, partner. I think I actually missed a Desmond 2-2 pitch.
Ooh.
I'm usually right on top of it.
I'm sure you'll have other opportunities.
Well, it's only April. Well, the Cubs ran and then ran some more. Hopefully they'll have chances to do so today. But in spring training, they were very aggressive. I would imagine Davey Johnson will do the same today. Noticing the weather conditions, I think both managers just try to steal a run. Hope that's enough.
Well, Dempster's paid a lot of attention to Desmond both times he reached at first base. But if you look back to the Grapefruit League stats, the Nationals only attempted 15 stolen bases all spring. They were successful 9 times. On the other hand, the Cubs ran 52 times and stole 38 bases.
Desmond with 25 steals last year. (3-0) now on Espinosa. Now, Davey kind of reminds you of Lou Piniella. He likes offense.
You like to see guys hit that ball in the seats, especially with runners on base.
He took over last year. I mean, his bench was made up mainly of defense and speed guys. He said, I want some offense this year. Well, got some veterans. Espinosa has now walked twice.
Wrigleyville Rooftops has premier seating for up to 200 guests for corporate gatherings, family reunions, and bachelor or bachelorette parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, go to www.wrigleyvillerooftops.com or call 773-248-ROOF.
Zimmerman with a home run cut his first time up, but the wind killed it right in front of the warning track. Slider strike. Saw Soriano get a hold of one. Didn't go anywhere. Do you change your swing on a day like this, or you just try to hit it hard?
Let's try to hit it hard. Guys that come to Wrigley Field and alter their swing depending on the wind conditions usually take a beating for it. Believe me, I know. Used to come in here as a visiting player and you would see those flags in center field blowing straight out or blowing out to left field, and suddenly every right-handed pull hitter was swinging straight up, just trying to get the ball in the air, and that's when you get into a lot of bad habits, and a crafty veteran pitcher will take advantage of that.
Hey, Cub fans, be sure to come out for Monday night's game when the Cubs take on their rivals, the Brewers, at 6:05. But make sure to get to the game early. The first 10,000 fans get a special Puffy Ball winner hat, compliments of Pepsi. For more info or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. That's the first of a 4-game series against the defending Central champs. Just outside.
Well, you want to talk about a borderline pitch. This is about as borderline as you can get. A little bit of a comeback sinker. He's trying to nip that outside corner at the knees. Very close.
On the right field line, and DeJesus will not have a play. I said earlier, David DeJesus had never played at Wrigley Field before today. In fact, a 9-year career, he had never played against the Cubs, which is kind of odd. Even though he had been a career American League player, I've never seen them in interleague play.
And because of that, Len, I think a guy like David DeJesus probably benefited more than anybody else on the roster from the workout yesterday. Just getting an opportunity to get out there in right field and check your surroundings. See how many steps it is on the warning track before you hit the vines. See what the background looks like behind the hitter. You can learn a lot of things in a very informal workout that the Cubs had yesterday afternoon if it's their first visit to a ballpark. Now, things like that foul line down into the corners where it's nearly up against the side wall. You learn how the ball plays off the bricks out there with a little bit of green.
Dempster will fire. Good block by Barney to keep that ball out of center.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Len, one thing you see early in the season that you usually don't see as the season progresses is a lot of pickoff attempts. Teams are fresh out of spring training where, as part of your daily fundamental drills, pickoffs are gone over, and second baseman and shortstop, first baseman on the back pick, they like to try them early.
Runners go, ball 4, they're loaded. Back-to-back walks.
Hey, Cub fans, if you want to manage a game along with Dale Swaim, log on to WGNTV.com right now and click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and information while you're watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more.
Bases full with only 1 out. And LaRoche, who struck out with runners at second and third and 1 out in the opening inning, now comes up with 3 on.
LaRoche, a good double play candidate if Ryan Dempster can get him to hit the ball on the ground. And observant fans may notice that the Cubs aren't playing what you would traditionally call double play depth, even though the bases are loaded and there's only 1 out in the inning.
Tip, strike 2.
Skipper Dale Swain just feels like it makes you vulnerable defensively to bring your infielders in at a position where the ball might sneak through and lead the way to a big inning. He would much prefer to have his guys play at normal depth, make sure you get an out, and if possible, you go ahead and turn it over and get 2.
Swing and a miss. Got him on the split.
I'm not sure what Ryan Dempster has against Adam LaRoche, but he has saved some of his nastiest stuff for the Nationals' first baseman. Good splitter that time, not only moving down, but moving away from the left-handed hitter.
Ryan has had LaRoche's number 3 for 15 now with 7 strikeouts. Well, the other thing too, for a veteran like Dempster, you talk about inning management. You do need to save your best stuff for the biggest spots. He wanted that one, you could tell.
I think he had every right to want that one. We showed you the borderline pitch earlier that maybe missed a little away, just off of the outside corner, but it looked pretty good. Certainly wasn't low.
In the air, and it's DeJesus with his heels on the dirt, and the Nats leave him loaded. Things possible. Joe Mather did have some previous big league experience, but kind of bouncing around. Signed a minor league deal with the Cubs, had a blistering spring, and he's on the roster. Anything's possible, brought to you by the Illinois Lottery, who each day make anything possible.
I mean, you want to talk about earning your way onto a roster. That's exactly what Joe Mather did this spring.
Popped up by Soto. As Desmond will put 2 hands on it.
We talked about it in some of our Cactus League telecasts. Joe Mather played actually 6 different positions this spring, all 3 outfield spots, the corner infield. He played a couple of games at second base. Hit 385, was second on the team in runs driven in during spring training. Really did it all. Showed aggressive tendencies on the bases. Very comfortable in all 3 outfield spots as well as the corner infield. Maybe not quite so much at second base, but that's a work in progress.
Well, Ryan Dempster trying to do what every hitter does, that is get his career average up over 100. Comes in at 0.99. You know what? He's worked very hard and as one of the best sack bunters in the league. So you thought I was going to say 300, right?
I knew where you were going.
Cubs actually had an NCAA bracket style 64-man bunting tournament in spring training. David DeJesus won it. Dale Swain got through a couple of rounds. I think he beat Dempster, didn't he? One round. You say he beat Kerry Wood and Ryan Dempster. That bat ended up in about 8 different pieces.
You just hope there's no residual effect. We talk all the time about a handful of bees. When you get jammed on a cold day like we have here at Wrigley Field, you feel it all the way up through your elbow into your shoulder sometimes. That ball just above his hands. Like he had so much pine tar on his glove he couldn't get all the splinters out of his hand as he ran down the first baseline.
So 2 quick outs. And DeJesus really taking his time, allowing his pitcher to get back into the dugout. And there's a base hit. They say he might take a pitch. And he saw a good one to hit.
Now, these are the kind of hits you like any day. Wind blowing in, blowing out, makes no difference. Line drives right back over the mound have a tendency to find their way into center field. That one right underneath the left arm of Strasburg and into center field.
Certainly can change as Ramos firing down to first. But Strasburg's a guy who misses a ton of bats today, and I don't know if it's by design. He really hasn't. He only has 1 strikeout through the first 10 batters. '18th career start for Strasburg with the San Diego State. The Nationals in their organization have 2 guys. Talk about Strasburg and Bryce Harper. I mean, before the draft, right after the draft, everybody said can't miss, and those guys don't always make it. But it looks like Strasburg is well on his way even after Tommy John surgery. Look at that. Well over a strikeout per inning. Bryce Harper's only 19 years old. He's playing center field at AAA. He'll probably be here at some point this season. We are scoreless after 3 on opening day.
Half of the fourth inning, it'll be Mark DeRosa, followed by Roger Bernardina and Wilson Ramos. Steven Strasburg, should any of those gentlemen reach, and Ryan Dempster looking to put another 0 on the board here in the fourth.
And DeRosa. One pitch, one out.
Or as a pitcher, you love that kind of an at bat. As a hitter, you absolutely hate it. You didn't even really get a good swing at the one pitch you did see. A check swing topper on that first base side for a quick out here in the fourth.
Bernardina takes a strike. Stewart in on the grass at third. Everybody else is back. Best scoreboard in the world.
There's finally a 1 you see right there. Phillies finally scored a run.
Swing and a miss. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Two quick outs. Dempster with 4 strikeouts today. Washington up in the scoreboard. I guess like Joe Walsh's new song, he's still an analog man in a digital world. Dempster makes quick work of the Nationals in the fourth. Up, the 7th inning stretch is brought to you by Captain Morgan. Raise your glass, always in moderation, to life, love, and loot. Bill Murray will be our conductor today. Still waiting for that first run of the season. Castro, Soriano, and Stewart against Steven Strasburg. single in the first. He popped one up near the mound and nobody caught it. But it counts as a hit.
Yeah, that's that old wee Willie Keeler saying, hit them where they ain't. Well, that time there was nobody there to catch the little floater.
.207 hits last year. Youngest player to lead the National League in hits at 21. Broke his bat as he hits a one-hopper that backed up Desmond, and the pick by LaRoche. It's usually not a great idea for a shortstop to back up, but Desmond had the arm, and he has a first baseman who can dig him out.
Yeah, you're forced to make nearly a flat-footed throw when you back up to play that short hop like Desmond does right here. He can get very little on the throw. You see just a little bit of a hop, got his shoulder turned toward first base, threw it in the dirt, but LaRoche with a nice pick on the other end. You could see how he really had to put a little extra on that throw.
Desmond can't get this ground ball as Soriano has his first hit. Bob, it's opening day, and we want to remember one of our good friends, Mike Hill, who was in charge of Wrigley Field security and had been in the Cub family for over 25 years. Mike passed away in December. Always came to work with a smile on his face and was beloved by everybody in this ballpark, and we want to give our condolences to his entire family, in particular his wife Kathy and their daughters Emily and Anna. Ian Stewart's 0 for 1. Also thinking about Jimmy Farrell as well. Jimmy's wife Eleanor passed away in December. They were married for 68 years. Jimmy, the long-time umpire room attendant here at Wrigley Field. You miss seeing them at the ballpark. Another swinging bunt for Stewart. Well, that's a risk, and it worked out for the Cubs as Ramos, not sure why he threw to second, but he did, and everybody's safe.
We've heard that old cliche, trying to do just a little bit too much, and I think that's what happened with Ramos here. Thought he had an opportunity to maybe initiate a double play with a good throw to second. You could see from Soriano's slide, I believe he was going to be safe even with a good throw. Big break for the Cubs right there. Hopefully they'll be able to capitalize.
No error. It's a fielder's choice. And the Cubs finally have a runner in scoring position. (2-0) on Jeff Baker. Budweiser patio and the digital board. Jeff's trying to change those zeros a little bit.
He's probably wishing we could wait one more at bat till he gets a hit. I want to see all those zeros after your name.
It's the thing about April baseball. Those numbers change dramatically with every at bat, every inning pitched.
Yeah, if he gets a knock here, next time up he'll have a 500 batting average, hopefully have an RBI.
Soriano takes off for third. Out on a great play by Ryan Zimmerman. That throw was in the dirt. Zimmerman dug it out and applied the tag. 2 down, 3-1 now on Baker.
Yeah, this is obviously Soriano running on his own. Felt he had enough of a jump that he could possibly steal third base because Ian Stewart didn't get a break off of first and is still over there with 2 outs now in the inning. Well, that's a nice play by Ryan Zimmerman to pick that ball out of the dirt and get the tag back down just in time. It's not always an easy play for the trail runner at first base, especially if you don't expect the guy at second to try to steal third base. If you have a speedster over there, you're always watching out of the corner of your eye.
Ball 4. Well, one thing is talking to Dale Swain. Well, he's not telling Ryan Zimmerman how to catch that ball in the dirt, but a lot of times those guys, that glove goes way up. It's a natural instinct to have the glove go up, but he was able to get it right back down quickly. So Stewart now at second after the walk to Baker, and Marlon Byrd skies it foul. Talking about all these low-scoring games here early today. Yeah, the wind conditions matter, but who's pitching matters too, and it is opening day, so you're going to get the best. Left field, and it'll get down for a base hit, and the Cubs have the lead. Ian Stewart will score standing. A 2-out RBI single for Marlon Byrd.
Well, you said it, Len. Facing aces on opening day, it's not always going to be easy to generate offense. Breaking ball right there, hit off the very end of the bat of Marlon Byrd, but finds grass out in front of Mark DeRosa. The Cubs are on the board. Yeah, you'd like to come out guns blazing with the bats early in the season, but as you said, the reality of opening day is you're going to face somebody who was either a 20-game winner or had a low ERA or is projected to be the ace of the staff. It's not always easy to come by runs on opening day.
1-1 to Soto. He's been more patient the second time around, it seems, against Strasburg. Lined, and Zimmerman right there to make the catch. But the Cubs get the first tally. It's 1-0 after 4.
It's the hottest new area in Chicago sports. The all-inclusive Budweiser patio is now open at Wrigley Field. For more information and to purchase tickets for the 2012 Cubs season, call 773-404-4200 or visit cubs.com/premier.
Underway in the fifth. Cubs got the first run on a Marlon Byrd RBI single. The Jesus will make the catch. Well, as we look around baseball, the domestic season openers, the A's and Mariners started in Japan last week. Kyle Loesch filling in for Chris Carpenter on opening day took a no-no into the seventh. As St. Louis won the first ever game at Marlins Park. David Freese just kind of picked up where he left off. Two-run single in the first. He had 3 hits. Joey Votto, that's not a misprint, a 12-year deal, the longest in Major League history. Adds 10 to the previous deal he had. And Johan Santana is back and working on opening day, and he has a 1-0 lead over the Braves in the seventh. He went 5 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs. It'll be a no decision today as the Mets got their run in the 6th. They moved in the fences a little bit at Citi Field.
Probably not enough if you ask the Mets offensive players, but step in the right direction.
Play for Baker. Superfan Dorothy's got her front row seat right behind the visitors' dugout. Swing and a miss. Ball popped out of Soto's mitt, but Desmond right there.
Some good old country hardball that time from Ryan Dempster, just reared back. The fastball right down the middle of the plate, rattles around in that catcher's mitt at Giovanni Soto, but he's able to retrieve it and apply the tag for the out.
Nationals still with just 1 hit, even though they've had a couple of good chances because of some walks and an error. The first pitch of the game, Ian Desmond singled to right. That's been it. Handed by Baker. He'll flip to Dempster covering first. We're halfway home on opening day, and the Cubs lead Washington 1-0.
Cubs play again on Saturday. Note the noon start time, and then we're back at you at WGN on Sunday against the Nationals. We roll around to Monday when the Brew Crew comes to town. We'll be on the U Monday night at 6. Ford, manufacturers of more fuel-efficient vehicles than any other brand. Check them out at your local Ford stores or online at localfordstores.com.
Ryan Dempster can't. I think he's telling Strasburg, can I use an aluminum bat?
Yeah, maybe he should. Man, we're sawing down trees in the great Northeast as we speak, just trying to keep Ryan Dempster in bats this game. Looked like he was saying that pitch hit him between his hands. It was so deep into his kitchen. We're still cleaning up wood in front of home plate.
There was a little sliver of that broken bat. Hey, he didn't break it.
Not yet. Well, Ryan's got nothing to be ashamed of. Steven Strasburg is going to break his share of bats this year with that live fastball, a nasty curveball that he uses right there to strike out Dempster.
Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. David DeJesus looks at a strike. Cubs chairman Tom Ricketts out on the Budweiser patio. Enjoying the scene from right field. Hey Bob, I got a number for you, courtesy of Stats. It's pretty interesting. Last year, the Chicago Cubs leadoff spot, so never ended up in that spot, mostly Kosuke Fukudome and Starlin Castro, led the majors in on-base percentage, 367. Does that surprise you?
I'd have to say it does, yeah.
I was too. That's really the main job of a leadoff guy. We've been hearing for years the Cubs can't find a leadoff hitter. Well, kind of put a conglomerate together last year, and all the issues the Cubs had, that was not really one of them.
Driving home the leadoff man once he got on base became a bigger issue.
Castro really thrived in that spot. See how he does every day in the 3-hole. One and two on DeJesus. We're talking about his first action here at Wrigley Field. Actually, his wife Kim has probably been to this ballpark much more than David has. She's from Chicago, grew up a Cub fan, and they live in Wheaton. So I guess it was convenient that he signed with one of the two Chicago teams, preferably the team his wife roots for.
Ask his wife for directions to the ballpark.
Yeah. 2-2.
Well, this is what you'd love to see from any leadoff hitter, regardless of the player that's plugging that spot on a given day. You just want to see a lot of pitches. Ideally, you get on base at the end of the at-bat, but the more pitches you can see as a leadoff hitter, the better chance that that pitcher is going to make a mistake to the guys behind you in the order.
Swing and a miss, strike three. Back-to-back Ks for Strasburg. There's 3 on the day to this point.
Haven't seen a lot of it from Strasburg today, but that was the straight changeup. And you can imagine a guy that throws 96, 97 miles an hour with regularity. If he can get that changeup close to the strike zone, he's going to get a lot of swings and misses.
When Barney had a huge spring. Whether it was coincidence or not, he really bulked up over the winter to try to maintain his weight throughout the season. But he really hit for gap power in the Cactus League, even though that's really not his game. 404 in Arizona.
Yeah, with 12 extra base hits. Did not hit a homer down in the Cactus League, but he had 2 triples and 10 doubles, which is, as you said, that was the purpose of bulking up a little bit. A little more upper body strength. Not expecting to hit a lot of home runs, but those balls that are ticketed for the gap or down the line should get through and roll a little bit further this year.
By the way, it's the last time you'll hear me mention it, but in case you're wondering, the Cubs went 17, 16, and 2 in spring training. That one is caught by Desmond to end the inning. 1-0 Cubs as we head to the 6th from Wrigley.
Nuveen Investment Suite Level. Watch the game with a former Cubs player and listen to classic stories about life as a Cub. With a luxury food and beverage package and a unique gift for each guest, the Audi Legend Suite.
Get back to that in a second. Ryan Zimmerman.
Nice.
It's caught by Soriano. Zimmerman has had 2 would-be homers taken away today by the wind. Wow.
Well, Zimmerman would be leading the National League in home runs at this point in the ball game had the wind conditions been different. But boy, what a nice play by Alfonso Soriano. I've been as critical as anybody of Alfonso's defense in left field, but he's taken a renewed interest in the defensive side of the game this spring and made a nice play that time, battling the sun and the wind and the bricks, able to make a nice catch.
He has worked really hard with Dave McKay on all facets of outfield play. Cubs will overshift really for the first time today against Adam LaRoche, because it's the first time he's batted with nobody in scoring position.
So far, the only defender Ryan Dempster has needed is his catcher against Adam LaRoche.
That's a strike.
Tom Gorzolani beginning to toss in the Nationals bullpen down the right field line.
Tell you, partner, not the same circumstance, but we'll have to ask Billy Williams the next time we see him if that fly ball reminded him of the one Hank Aaron hit during Ken Holtzman's no-hitter. The ball that Billy caught in the well on a day similar to this. Over 40 years ago. Swing and a miss. A rough day for LaRoche. Been a big day so far for Ryan Dempster. He has been very durable. And today, Ryan making his 359th Cub appearance. So now has sole possession of 9th on the all-time list, just past Rick Russell. Strike to Worth on a slider. As a new Cubs pitching coach, he's all business. Chris Bosio.
And part of his business is encouraging his pitchers to challenge that inside part of the plate. Cubs led the Cactus League with 20 batters plunked in spring training. Not that the Cubs pitchers were throwing at hitters, but they just wanted to establish that they're going to work that fastball on both sides of the plate. And occasionally, if you're leaning out over the plate looking for a pitch away, it might hit you.
Swing and a miss. Inning over. 8 strikeouts for Dempster. Still 1-0. Summary: Adam LaRoche not only 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, he has stranded 5 in his first 3 at-bats. Marlon Byrd plating the only run. Visit your local Chicagoland Honda dealer today and test drive the 2012 Honda Accord. One strike on Starlin Castro. Curveball strike. 1-0. 1-0. 1-0. It's 2-0 over in Detroit. Justin Verlander went 8 innings, gave up 2 hits. Jose Valverde can remain perfect. Blow a save last year. Bobby Valentine's Red Sox debut. After the high one, couldn't get it.
Hitting the road? Well, take the Cubs with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Cubs out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Cubs.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere.
Nasty. Soriano didn't even see it as he turned away, and the curveball went right back over the plate. And Worth will maybe bow the sun a little bit as he makes a catch.
Well, and seeing Alfonso Soriano go jelly-legged on that first curveball from Steven Strasburg reminds me of former Cubs second baseman Ryne Sandberg. You used to be able to do that to him, especially early in the game and early in the count. Snap off a breaking ball, and Rhino would buckle his knee a little bit and lean back and maybe take the pitch for a strike, and you'd think you had him set up to throw that pitch again later in the sequence, and he'd hit it out onto Waveland Avenue.
Stewart has scored the only run. Reached on a fielder's choice in the fourth. Two batters later, Marlon Byrd knocked him in. Zimmerman and Ramos, no play. Oh, Kerplunk. Everybody's all right. The beverage, however, is not.
That was a great splash. That must have been a direct hit.
We've had a weird weather year. I didn't realize we had geysers inside Wrigley Field.
Like it broke a water main over there.
1-0 Cubs at the end of 6.
Northside Gal from J.D. McPherson. That's our Bud fan cam. Budweiser, the official beer of the first inning. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds.
Mark DeRosa here in the 7th. Nationals limited to one hit, a leadoff single on the very first pitch of the season by Ian Desmond. No hits since. Called strike. Fireballing Henry Rodriguez is up with the tutelage of Jim Lett. Really have a closer right now with Drew Storen on the DL. Brad Lidge, of course, has done it in the past. Rodriguez's name has been mentioned. Sounds like Tyler Clippard's going to stay right in that 8th inning as DeRosa grounds out. Across the way, left-hander James Russell is up for the Cubs. He's the lone southpaw in that bullpen. Cubs with an extra position player, at least to start the season, as they playing Luis Valbuena, left-handed hitting infielder from Toronto yesterday. Going with an 11-man staff as Bernardina checked his swing and fouled off.
Still a couple spots away from Steven Strasburg's spot in that 9-hole in the Nationals lineup. Davey Johnson does have Chad Tracy available on the bench, former Cub, very veteran left-handed pinch hitter. Tracy with real good career numbers against Ryan Dempster. I'm sure that's why James Russell is just cranking it up down that Cubs bullpen just in case we get to that 9 spot.
That's interesting. Cubs played 35 spring training games. And Dale Swaim never really had to play matchups. Occasionally he'd bring Russell in to face a lefty if he needed work on that day. But it's a whole different ball game once the regular season starts. Former minor league manager and also managed the Brewers for 12 games and into the playoffs at the end of the 08 season. Two and two.
Yeah, your primary concern as a manager in spring training is getting your eyes on everybody, especially those guys that are battling for roster spots. But once the regular season starts, you're limited. Obviously, 25 players on your roster. Try to get the best possible matchups for your players against the opposing pitchers or against the opposing hitters. Everything changes once you leave spring training.
Dempster trying to put away Bernardina. Little floater. Castro backpedaling. We're 1 out away from the 7th inning stretch. Bill Murray will be joined by Big Head Todd. Ramos is grounded out and struck out. Castro will pick it up. Stretch time.
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, legendary actor and Chicago native Bill Murray.
I got some help today from Big Head Todd. Let's sing it. We're going to win today. We're going to win every single game. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jams. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root root for them. If they don't win, it's a shame for. Ball game. Let's get some run.
Cubs 1, Nationals nothing in the bottom of the 7th. And you have a lifetime membership card in this booth. Bill Murray, longtime Cubs broadcaster. And you ran the bases well today, Bill, I have to say.
I was, I think I broke that was a personal best. Let me just say that.
Got a little help today from Big Head Todd, and the Monsters. Baker's going to be safe as the throw pulled LaRoche off the bag. We got to get you caught up. You're scoring today.
Okay, I'm scoring. I'm behind.
I like it.
It's a long ways to get up here from right field, from the right field line. A lot of beer vendors, a lot of slow-moving people here, confused in the shade.
Wow, look at him.
Look at that speed.
Whoa.
He beats the tag.
You know, Bill, personally, I thought it was very appropriate. Dale Swaim, the new manager, a big emphasis on aggressive base running in spring training, and you come out here opening day and inside the park home run. I love it.
Well, Dale promised me he'd give me a fair look, and I think that was my look. That was it. That's it. If you're used to playing Little League, those bases are so long. They really are. You really feel like you should have scored by the time you get around second. It's a beautiful day here. What a great day. People are so excited. Dale seems like a very nice fella. Players are excited. The ivy is already in bloom. It's already on the wall. That's first.
Couldn't believe that. April 5th. Ivy on the walls, and here's that first pitch. Good form. We called it a swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the dirt.
Oh no! He was thinking off speed, and I just threw it hard and fast in the dirt where he couldn't hit it. It's the first time I've ever thrown it in the direction of home plate. It was a rare thing for me. Usually I just put it into the bleachers. And that's my more traditional pitch right there.
You are dressed a little more conservatively today than the last time I saw you Pebble Beach.
Well, I just felt like I needed to sort of blend in with the atmosphere. I hate when people dress loudly and take away from the beauty of God's creation out there.
They will turn 5 to 3.
Yeah, I got dressed up for that one. I was in the hunt at that time, and I wanted to feel that way. I wanted my clothing to reflect it.
I want to ask how much prep you did when you filled in for Harry 20-some years ago.
Well, I didn't watch. That was when Harry was out for the beginning of the season, and they had a guest. They had a guest announcer every single game, and I was down at the time I happened to be down in South Carolina, and where they got WGN, and I watched a couple games, and I remember watching Ernie Harwell, and I thought, he doesn't really root for the Cubs, does he? And he was very matter of fact about calling the game. He's got that great voice, and he certainly knows the game inside out. But I thought I'd just come and I thought I'd just announce as if I were a fan, instead of being an announcer. And it was a lot of fun that way. When I got here, the Cubs were 0-8. And my friend Tom Dorgan said, "Tell him, Bill, April is the cruelest month of all." So I started with that one, and then we had a very funny day that day. Eric Gregg, the umpire, his gear didn't show up, and they had to go to Lane Tech or someplace and get some catcher's gear to put on him. Eric Gregg was about 340 pounds at the time, and they got like a 5'9" kid's catching gear to put on Eric Gregg, and Eric coming out of the dugout in this outfit. You couldn't, anything you said was very amusing to the folks at home because the thing spoke for itself.
Can you believe it was 25 years ago? 87.
Well, it was a lot of fun that time. It was a lot of fun, and that was back then. Harry had a cooler up here. Where's your cooler, boys? He had a real refrigerator up here.
Well,
he was a little more committed to the lifestyle.
We've got it hidden, Bill. We don't want to give away too many secrets. Can you hang for a couple minutes with
us
here?
You guys are using those airplane bottles nowadays.
1-0 after 7. We'll be back. Change. Reed Johnson is playing left for Alfonso Soriano, and former Cub Chad Tracy will hit for Steven Strasburg. Bill Murray in the booth with us. I love that you're keeping score today. That's a true fan right there.
Well, and like all true fans, I'm always asking the guy in front of me, what did he just do?
What happened? What did he do?
What happened?
Yeah, you're into the 6th. We'll get you caught up. Not much has happened since.
I'm red hot and active right here now.
You're better than me. I stopped in the 2nd.
And as you know, looking at your card, Ryan Dempster gave up a hit on the first pitch of the game and has not allowed one since.
I saw that. I mean, back when I was keeping score, he had 6 strikeouts already. I don't know if he's probably had some since.
He's got 8 now.
Outstanding. He's fun. He's a really fun guy. I like him. He sort of feels like he's the spirit of the team. I always feel like the way he looks in the bench is the way things are going. It's great to get a great start opening day, too.
Yeah, you know, Bob's theory is, well, why don't you tell Bill your NCAA
is this another one of your
tournament
crazy theories, Bob? Let's hear it.
You know, you come out of March Madness, you know, the NCAA basketball tournament. Tracy fouls one out of play, and it's win or go home. It's do or die, literally.
Right.
Then you start baseball season where you play 162 games spread out over 6 months, and everybody just panics if you lose the first game. We got a long way to go.
I don't see any panic here today.
Nope.
I don't feel it. I mean, I could have dived for that ball one whole level beneath me, and I would have felt fine going for that. But I'm listening to more of your theory.
Yeah, okay.
So you think panic early? We're not.
Well,
there's no panic.
Just in general. I mean, not Wrigley Field, but baseball fans in general. You know, you come off that March Madness and the sense of urgency, and then you fall into the rhythm of a long baseball season.
Nice grab by the guy protecting the bullpen catcher. That's an important job.
Well, I think maybe it's that uncertainty that it's actually back. You know, maybe you're not sure. What if you did lose? I don't think it's about having a losing team. Maybe it's the uncertainty that what if we had to go and watch more college basketball again? What if we stopped all over and went to the regionals or something? That would be terrible. Take him.
Strikeout number 9.
And I'm afraid that's why we let Tracy go. Afraid so. He's a nice man, but that's a swinging K.
Ryan Dempster hoping to tilt the scales back in his favor. I mentioned Tracy was 6 for 10 lifetime against Dempster with a home run and 3 doubles, but Ryan got the better of him that time.
Yeah, those days have ended, Trace.
Yep.
Yeah, grab some pine, get out of here. Yeah, call in sick next time. Uh-oh.
Baker let it go. I think he thought Barney was right behind him, and that ball gets into right. So Desmond has their only 2 hits.
And this one very similar to the first one, except he hit it on the ground. Just a cue shot off the end of the bat. You see Jeff Baker apparently felt Darwin Barney was playing over there in the hole and intentionally let that ball go by, but nobody there to back it up.
So now Baker didn't play a lot of first base last year. This is kind of a new thing that he's there, yes? No?
Played a little bit in spring training down the Cactus League, but yes, those are the kind of plays that come with experience. You play the position a little more, you know exactly how far you should go and when you should let it go to the second baseman.
Espinoza has walked twice and grounded out.
Now, are there any concerts planned for the summer? Do you know of any that are going to take place on the field?
Yes. I'm blanking on who it is, but yes. They've been doing it.
The
Kenny
Wall.
Chesney and then Roger Waters in the Wall, right? Yeah.
I'm just curious because I see like a square out there in center field. I wonder what that represents out there. It looks like there's 3 of them, doesn't it? Does it look like some sort of weird course?
Yeah.
Was it a pitch and putt someone was playing here in the winter? Or is it a par 3 course?
Yeah, everybody asks us, Bill, what was the concert like? You know, the police, and Bob and I have to remind people that we're on the road when.
That's why they have a concert here, because we're gone.
But what a great venue.
Yeah. Well, the lake looks good from up here. I forget that you can see the water from up here. It's pretty.
They had some help with the 7th inning stretch. How do you know Big Head Todd? And his head's really not that big.
Well, it's good size. It's good size. It's a respectable skull. Well, I've only known him personally for just a few weeks. I saw him play recently, but I've been a fan of his music for a long, long time. And I used to practice my golf to his first album. I used to take a boombox to the practice tee, and it just had a great rhythm to it, and I was able to swing to it. I like his stuff a lot, and his show is awesome. Have you ever seen him? The show is so cool, and the band is great. And you know their story. They came to Chicago, and their tour manager, the road manager, just sort of abandoned them, and they were stranded here. But they were playing in a bar here, and the guys at the bar said, well, we dig you guys. Why don't you just stay and be our house band? And they stayed, loved it here, and wrote all these songs that became this first album of theirs that was a big hit. And he plays a lot of blues now, Todd. Made a Robert Johnson album a year or 2 ago. But I just saw their show just now for the first time in person, and it was really fun.
They've been around for a long time.
Yeah. He's got a lot of juice, a lot of energy. And he hit the notes. You heard him.
Yeah, he was harmonizing.
He wasn't even.
Bit.
It was easy stuff for him. This is just a warm up.
Tying run is on. The Cubs lead 1-0. Ryan Dempster has been tremendous today. Inside, and it's 2-2.
So now how close was Soriano over there at third? We couldn't see how close he was when he tried to steal. It looked like he beat it from where we were sitting.
Zimmerman made a nice play on a bounced throw and looked like he just got him. And the Cubs right after that scored the only run on a Marlon Byrd bloop single to left. You know what? You asked, we're going to show you the replay.
Oh, that's old world courtesy. Look at this.
There.
Oh gosh,
hard to tell if he got the
It looks like he tagged him in the chest. That his left hand could have beat him. Well, it evens out. They say.
And you have to be encouraged. Just the fact that Soriano feels good enough and his legs are strong enough that he feels like he can steal a base.
Well, I started thinking he was going to steal even before that. Come on, get him right. Yeah.
That's 10 for Dempster.
Who's this guy?
Another good splitter. Nice job by Gio to keep it in front.
Boy, that pitch is wicked.
What a great start for Ryan Dempster.
Kerry Wood's ready.
Are they going to pull him for the standing ovation? That's the big question, folks. They're going to take him out for the standing ovation. It's the big question. Ryan Zimmerman can hit. He doesn't like the pitch, Ryan Zimmerman.
It's going to be Kerry Wood.
This is just how we like it. Standing ovation. Everybody up. Even you folks at home. Come on, everybody up. Get up. Set down the remote and stand up. Ryan Dempster. Standing ovation. Opening day. 2012. Homestand against division rivals, the Reds, whom we don't like, and the Cardinals, who we hate, on April 20th through the 25th. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com or call 1-800-THE-CUBS. Or visit the Wrigley Field box office and say hello.
You picked right up where you left off 25 years ago, Bill. Kerry Wood with a cutter for a strike on Ryan Zimmerman.
This is nice theatrics. I was just saying, for him to take out, Dempster's going out for a pinch hitter in the next inning anyway, so to get him out with that standing ovation and bring in Woody with this nice sunlight, I like it. Oh.
Very nice.
Just nice.
So I think going for it.
Joe Paws back.
Joe.
Ryan Dempster, what a day. 10 strikeouts, 2 hits.
Get him, Woody. Get him. They're into it, huh? Look at everybody's up. This is good. Get him, Woody.
Runner goes. And all of a sudden, tying run is in scoring position. Desmond with a stolen base. Two on Zimmerman. LaRoche on deck.
Well, Carey's pitch count is at 5. Let's keep it at 6. Come on, Carey. Ooh.
Bring up LaRoche.
Can we bring Dempster back in the game to face Adam LaRoche?
He struck out all 3 times.
I don't think we can. Do you have a rule book here? I don't think we can bring him back in. We could put a hologram over Wood's head. That's all we can do legally, according to the rules. That's it. That's your only move.
Could have put him in left like Lou put Sean Marshall in left one year and then brought him back, but that's something you see often. Doesn't always play out this way on a day in which the wind is howling straight in. But the game has really played to the conditions. Only 1 run to this point.
Ooh.
Both runners move up. So a wild pitch. Now runners at second and third.
Woody just doesn't seem to be as consistent with that cut fastball as he will be as we move forward. Remember, he only had 5 innings of work in spring training. The Cubs intentionally tried to cut back on his workload to try to keep him healthy deep into the season this year. Just not quite as fine as he will be.
Heck, I had 5 innings. Pitched 5 innings of Little League the other night.
How's your cutter?
I don't use it. Well, it's like Bob says, early in the season, I'm not, it's not as fine as it's going to be. And then again, I'm throwing at 10-year-olds. So I just throw it, pretty much throw the straight one. They just put one finger down for me and I throw it. It's coming up there 43, 47 miles an hour.
It's Desmond at third.
Come on, Garrett.
Zimmerman at second.
Yeah.
Four-seamer that time, 2-2.
All right. He's made it more exciting, that's all. He's just built the drama, that's all. He's just built the drama. Oh, Adam, excuse me, can I talk to you for a second? Ooh. I think these Senators are ashamed of their uniforms. I think they should have a lot more exciting uniform, and they don't, and they feel it. Their self-esteem is low. That's why Woody's going to take him right now. Get him.
The wind's going to allow Soto a play on this one.
Yeah, it's a little too cold to catch that one with your bare hands today. But you would have, right? You would have caught that.
I would have deferred to whoever was sitting next to me.
Ma'am, may I use your hat?
You got plenty of room, ma'am.
It's all you.
Well, LaRoche barely got a piece of that one. Bunch of four-seam fastballs away, and then finally tried to cut one in on his hands. Just able to get a piece of it and stay alive.
Now I see what you mean about your theory, Bob. This is Final Four pressure. I can feel it now. It's like at the end of the game. These are like free throws. Come on. Get him, Carey.
Full count. He does have a base open, so he doesn't really have to give in. Worth is on deck.
Well, he could have given us that one. I mean, that was close enough. I mean, we're the home team.
3-2. Loaded.
Oh, no. Oh, I bet that umpire feels terribly about that. That's a strike, folks. That caught the corner.
Yep. According to Xfinity, it was. As Chris Bosio's going to go out and talk things over. Jason Worth with the bases loaded.
Now, don't you guys have the technology to inform the umpire that Xfinity called that a strike? Or should we just have like a little bat boy or bat girl go out there and do something like that?
You don't have to talk my partner into that.
A puppy?
I'm all for it.
Isn't there some kind of like not a laser or something you could just tap his shoulder with and say, hey, try a little harder? And don't try, just do it. Oh, no. Well, I'm sorry, it's this guy, Jason Worth. I like him as a player. I think he's a great player. But I just don't want him to play well this week.
Well, we'll like him come Monday.
0 for 7. 0 for 7 against Kerry Wood.
Get him. Well, it's a battle of the goatees. Let's go it.
Down the middle.
There we go.
Good mound visit there by Chris Bosio, the pitching coach. I'm sure it was just to give Woody a little bit of a breather. That was a heck of a battle that Adam LaRoche gave him.
For first, and again that wind, pushing everything toward the seats.
It's gotten stronger as the game's gone on.
It really has.
But that is 2 strikes, and we like that part of it. A fan near me wasn't sure whether or not to throw a foul ball back on the field. And I said, no, we celebrate. That's a strike. We celebrate that. It's okay. He really was in doubt. He's in question. Like, put it up like to the world court. A bunch of beer drinking, peanut eating people said, yeah, hang on to that, pal. Hang on to that.
0-2 with the bases loaded.
That's pretty close.
Yeah, that one, Giovanni Soto moved off the outside corner. It looks like he catches it right in front of his body, but you can see where he's set up, and just not going to give you that one.
I think it was just too close to Jason Worth. That's all. He's a big fella. He got a long bat. Get him.
Well, far enough. Right here's the pitch. You want to make something happen. You don't want to go full count with 2 outs and get all 3 runners in motion. End it right here.
A single and 2 walks in the 8th. And they are going to be on the move on a 3-2.
That's your theory, Bob. Gary likes to build the drum. He likes to build the tension. He likes to give these folks their money's worth. They came out on a cool day. It's opening day.
This is Carey's inning at the moment.
Guys, I think we should all go down on one knee for this one. Let's just go down on one knee for this one, okay? Let's go down on one knee.
All 4 low, and we're tied.
Whoa. Well, we should have gone down on 2. Well, we're going 2 knees for the next one.
Carey has walked 3 since coming in. Well, that's Jason Worth right there, Bob. I mean, he has a very good eye at the plate, and a lot of guys go after that pitch. He really sold it there.
Oh, yeah.
So DeRosa now with the bases loaded. 1 ball, no strikes.
Now, how did he end up with Washington? Wasn't he with the horrible Cardinals last year?
He was with the Giants.
The Giants, that's right.
Yeah.
The horrible
Mark
Cardinals
has bounced around since he was a Cub, but had some wrist problems.
Right.
Had a great spring, and because of an injury to Michael Morse, he's in the opening day lineup.
Well, he was great here. He was a great Cub.
Nationals with only 1 hit this inning. One and 2. Up the middle. And Barney will get a sliding DeRosa at first. So they eventually get out of it. Bill, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it as always. Great job today.
Okay, I want you guys to work on your come from behind skills this year.
We'll do it.
Starts today. Let's take it. We're tied. I expect.
Game. It's been this kind of day. Didn't hit it terribly hard, but well placed for Marlon Byrd, putting the Cubs on top back in the 4th inning. Get to a Nissan dealer for great deals on innovation. You can count on innovation for all. Tie now, and Tyler Clippard is part of a very strong Nationals bullpen. He is their 8th inning guy, pitching in a tie game. Chad Tracy stays in at first. And this is Blake DeWitt, who was very busy as a pinch hitter in 2011 for Mike Quaddy. See a lot of changeups from Tyler Clippard. That was one right there. Off the end of the bat, DeWitt pops into shallow right.
We talked about the absence of their closer, Drew Storn, and the alternatives that Davey Johnson was presented with. And certainly one of those would have been to slide Clippard into the closer's role, but they felt very comfortable leaving him in that 8th inning spot. Got a veteran like Brad Lidge, who has closed games You mentioned Rodriguez earlier, a flamethrower. So rather than move multiple guys out of their comfort zone, they just decided to leave Clippard in that 8th inning role.
Well, in a lot of ways, that 8th inning guy is as, if not more important than the closer. You got to get to the closer. There's the mayor, Rahm Emanuel, David Axelrod, Senator Dick Durbin, Tony Preckwinkle. Great to have all of them here today.
Who's minding the store? They're all here at the ball game today.
To DeJesus is low.
Up in the dirt. Good take that time by David DeJesus. You mentioned Tyler Clippard's devastating straight changeup, especially when he can spot his fastball down around the knees at the bottom of the zone and then throw his changeup right in that same general vicinity. Very, very tough to recognize the difference in those two pitches.
Bounce to Espinosa, who boots it, and he won't be able to make a throw. That's an error. Let's see if the Cubs can take advantage.
DeJesus does get a fastball down this time, pounds it into the dirt right in front of home plate, and Espinosa just a little lackadaisical as he came into field. That ball hit off the heel of his glove, and DeJesus reaches with one out in the inning.
Barney looking for his first hit. It's a fastball for a strike. Desmond will make the catch. Saw Desmond was taking a look at where the batter and the runner were, just to see if maybe he wanted to let that ball drop. He wanted to make sure Barney was busting it down the first baseline. Well, Ryan Dempster outpitched Steven Strasburg today, even though both guys charged with a run. But you see, doubled him up on the strikeouts.
A very solid outing by both, but Dempster was a little more dominating. Had a real good splitter today. Good command of his sinking, tailing fastball.
Check swing foul. You know, DeJesus would like to get in scoring position. For Starlin Castro, we haven't seen an extra base hit today.
DeJesus had a base stealer lead over there and was leaning a little bit towards second base. Unfortunately, it was a little too premature, and he kind of had to stop and gather himself. And just as he did, Clippard delivered the ball to home plate.
The fake towards second, and then put on the brakes, and Castro swung and missed. Going to see Carlos Marmol, the closer, in the ninth. That's why you'd love to get one here in the eighth. protect the lead, not a tie. He was leaning again.
The danger you run into with an 0-2 count on Starlin Castro. Nationals, if they choose to do so, could pitch out a couple of times right here if they feel David DeJesus is going to be running.
Jose Valverde blew his first save in 2 seasons today, and he got the win. Gave up 2 runs in the 9th. But the Tigers got a run in the bottom of the 9th to beat the Red Sox 3-2. About the Marlins, the Miami Marlins. They played last night to open Marlins Park. Well, they're playing again today in Cincinnati.
The dreaded 1-game series.
Yeah, trailing 1-0 in the 2nd. Johnny Cueto for the Reds. Mark Burley in his Marlins debut. Phillies beat the Pirates 1-0. Roy Halladay, 8 innings, 2 hits. Jonathan Papelbon in his Phillies debut got the save. Carlos Ruiz went 3 for 3 for the Phillies. There goes to Jesus, and a cue shot right to Tracy, and he'll step on first. It's opening day 2012. It's 1-1. Anniversary of our first Cubs telecast here on WGN Sports. Great to have you with us. Here's Carlos Marmol. Pitches to Roger Bernardino. We're in the 9th, 1-1. Our producer is Mark Brady. Our director, Skip Ellison. Our associate producer, is Doug Stanton, our stage manager up in the booth. Paula Ascroba, the executive producer of WGN Sports. Bob Vorwald, the vice president, general manager of WGN Television, is Marty Wilkie. Great job by our entire crew as Marlon Byrd lost his hat, but not the ball. One away.
Somewhat of a shaky spring for Carlos Marmol. Struggled with his command once again, like he did most of the season last year. Hit 3 batters in Cactus League play, but a pitcher that relies on a breaking pitch, especially a hard, sharp breaking pitch like the slider, never really enjoys the Cactus League too much. There's no humidity, no air to work that slider against. A lot of them flattened out, a lot of them stayed straight. Just his inability to consistently command the strike zone, more of a problem than anything else.
He had 2 really bad outings. I thought got better as the spring went on. The one thing the new staff would like to see in terms of his manager and pitching coach is the avoidance of the 20 to 25 pitch inning. He's put a lot of wear and tear on that arm over the last few years as the Cubs setup man and closer. There's a veteran closer, Brad Lidge.
Well, especially with the 6-man bullpen right now, as you said, Len, they may add another pitcher as we move forward, but especially early in the season when you only have 6 relief pitchers available, you'd like your closer to get in, get out quickly, save those pitches so you can bring him back again on the next day, possibly the 3rd day.
With that in mind, they've worked on his fastball grip just to occasionally try to sink it a little bit, maybe get some earlier contact. Slider low and outside to Ramos. Cubs had a 1-0 lead into the 8th. That'll be fair as Ian Stewart pops the mitt. A little bobble maybe by Baker, but they get the out. Kelly Wood walked 3 in a row, including Jason Worth with the bases loaded to tie it. And that's where we stand. Chad Tracy played in Japan last year.
That looked like the 2-seamer you were just talking about from Carlos Marmol. His fastball last year was pretty straight most of the time. Tried to work it across the top of the zone. 2-seamer will, as you said, give him a pitch to maybe get some at-bats over with a little quicker, a little downward movement, some tailing action away from those left-handed hitters.
I thought he threw more strikes with that pitch in spring training than he did with a 4-seamer. Slider that time is low and outside on Tracy. Well, the Nationals have 2 hits today. Ian Desmond owns both. Popped into right, pretty well hit. DeJesus back, warning track, twisting and turning, and he can't get it over his head. And that's the only extra base hit of the day. A 2-out double for Chad Tracy. Well, he almost hit it out of here, believe it or not.
Chad Tracy gets a lot of hands and a lot of wrist at the very tail end of his swing. Right at contact, he kind of rolls that top hand over, really drives that ball into the wind to right field. DeJesus gets turned around back to the ivy, just can't get up high enough onto that wall to make the catch.
Brett Carroll will be brought on as a pinch runner. So here is Desmond. The go-ahead run now at second. Fastball strike. Mets blank the Braves today 1-0 in New York. Johan Santana got a no decision. 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs. And a floater into right, a base hit, and the Nationals have the lead. All with 2 outs. So they get to the Cubs bullpen again. They have their first lead of the day.
Well, the box score will say it was a big day for Ian Desmond, and based on the results you'd have to say it was, but all 3 hits he had in this game came right off the end of the bat. Got just enough of that one to float it through the infield to drive home the go-ahead run.
One of the question marks going into spring training was generally an unproven bullpen. Aside from Marmol and Wood, you had Carlos coming off a rough year last year. But these 2 guys are going to carry a pretty heavy load this season. And it's been a rough day today, unfortunately. Espinosa lost it into shallow left, and Reed Johnson will make the catch. So it looks like it'll be Lidge in the bottom of the 9th. 2-1 Washington. With 3 hits, including the go-ahead RBI, making it 2-1 Washington. Brad Lidge is on the mound. And of the changes, Bernardina goes from center to left. And that's Brett Carroll, scored the go-ahead run as a pinch runner. He's still in center. And Mark DeRosa goes to first.
Veteran Brad Lidge, much like Carlos Marmol, relies heavily on his slider. He'll throw a 2-seamer to go along with it, but especially when he's ahead in the count, he's going to try to expand that zone with a hard, late breaking slider.
with the Phillies last year. He didn't pitch until late July because of a strained right posterior rotator cuff injury. But when he did pitch, he was really good. A 1.40 ERA in 25 appearances.
Dana DeMute, the home plate umpire, said Reed Johnson offered at that slider in the dirt away. Very close. That religious slider, talking to hitters around baseball, very tough to pick up the rotation until that ball is nearly in the hitting zone, and by then it's just about done moving. Oh, nasty.
Just disappeared off the table, and Reed Johnson strikes out. One away. That's nasty.
Yeah, and that's against an accomplished veteran hitter who knows Brad Lidge very well. Still couldn't hold up.
You saw their pitch tracks. Not one of those pitches was in the zone. That's Ian Stewart. High and deep right field.
Go.
This ball carrying, and it will land on the track. Ian Stewart on his way to third. It's a triple. Jason Worth chased to the well. That ball dropped on the warning track. And the tying run is 90 feet away.
Boy, the wind here at Wrigley will give you some cheap home runs as we move into the warmer months, but it'll take some home runs away early in the season. Ian Stewart just got robbed. That ball was absolutely crushed. Seen a number of well hit balls today. That one looked like it was ticketed for the new Budweiser patio.
So the infield will be drawn in. It's Jeff Baker. Joe Mather will pinch run for Stewart. Baker with a ground ball. Throw goes to the plate. Tag applied. 2 down. Mather going on contact.
Couple spots on the field that the contact play is just not going to work, and that's a ball hit right at the third baseman or right back to the pitcher. Unfortunately, Baker rolls over, hits a 2-hopper right to third base. Quick throw home by Zimmerman in time to get Mather at the plate.
So it's up to Marlon Byrd, infield back. Baker the runner at first. Boy, Ian Stewart missed a game-tying homer by a couple of feet at most. And the Cubs could not get that run in after the triple. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Slider in the dirt. 1-2.
Jeff Baker, not the kind of guy that you would anticipate trying to steal second base, but you'd love to get him in scoring position. If Brad Lidge would bounce one of those sliders to the backstop, the Cubs would love that. stride. Stopped by Ramos.
He's looking for his 224th career save. Now he's run it full, 3-2. It's Giovanni Soto on deck. Baker goes on the 3-2, called strike 3 on a fastball, and the Nationals hang on. Brad Lidge escapes in the bottom of the ninth.
And Lidge goes away from his bread and butter pitch here on the 3-2. Throws a fastball right at the knees on the outside corner. Nearly an unhittable strike. Marlon Byrd thought that pitch was down, but Dana DeMuth rings him up to end the ball game.
So the Nationals get one in the eighth and one in the ninth and come back and beat the Cubs today 2-1.